me?
Yes.
Hello, are you hearing me?
I'm gonna. Yes.
Okay.
I'm just gonna remove my headphones. One sec. Okay. Hello. Now you must hear me better.
Yes, I hear you better.
Perfect.
Okay, great. How's it going?
Good.
Okay,
It's
good.
like last time you talked about my grandfather
Oh,
with
yes.
my miscarried baby,
Mm-hmm.
and then I have the cousin of my father. She like texted me on Facebook, and she was like, I talked with a lady, and she was a teenage friend of your grandfather. I was like, huh?
Really?
Because she could call anyone, but
Yes.
she decided to contact me, so I was like, huh?
Really?
It was so, yeah, I was like, oh my god.
That's good. That's confirmation.
That's fine. Yeah, that's it.
That's good. That's good. That's confirmation. See, when things happen like that, when you feel like, oh, is it a coincidence? It's like nothing is really a coincidence in the universe. You understand? Everything is
Yes.
by divine appointment. So if you say that you had this session with me, and then a family member even called you out of nowhere, of your grandfather, and and said what she said, that's good. That means that he's definitely with you. Yeah, and I do know that we had a session a little while back. Is there anything that you would like to go over pertaining to that?
It was the charts we have to do.
No, other than that, that's what we're going to do now, yes. But I'm asking you, do you have any questions pertaining to our last session that...
I'm kind of confused with the law as above, as below.
Okay, as above, so below?
Yeah.
Okay, so understand this. Everything is in polarity. You know polarity, right?
Yes.
Okay, so to every positive, there's a negative side. To every high, there's a low. To every good, there's a bad. Some, in that kind of sense. Yin, yang. To every light, there's darkness. Or to every darkness, here comes the light. When you are in a stage or in a situation where you're depressed, eventually you're going to come into a situation where you're happy. Now, when we talk about as above, so below, and I speak about the chakras, right? Perhaps I was, speaking to you about the chakras in the body. So there's lower frequencies of you or lower energies of you, and there is also higher or more spiritual energies of you. Okay, and if you want to balance your whole system, or if you need to balance yourself out on a spiritual level, you have to approach it as above, so below. As above, to the extent that you want to raise your frequency, you also have to deal with the demons in you, as they will say, or the lower sides of you, to raise, to go as above. That's what that term means.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
Okay, great. So now this session is going to be recorded, so you can always go back to it. Your natal chart is always going to be, go back to it. I'm going to speak slowly, so that you can understand what, how I am breaking it down and understand your chart generally. Okay? Do you have your chart in front of you?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, the three main things that you want to first understand about a natal chart is the planets. Okay, the planets, the signs, and the signs is like the outer skirt. The outer skirt. You see how they have the different symbols of the signs? That is that's the right. And then you have the houses, right? The houses is where you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the numbers going around the natal chart wheel. Now, the planets that's in the houses, right? This is what energy is being portrayed, right, for you. What energy? How, like, what do you like to do? That's basically, the planets tells you what it is that you like to do. Okay? So, let's take, for example, we're going to just do, for example, your first house, right? Your first house, you have, let me see, your first house, you have Saturn. So, as I just mentioned to you, the planets is what you like to do. So, Saturn is the planet of challenges, the taskmaster, the one that brings about, you get what I'm saying, changes on a disciplined base, right? So this is what you like to do, but how do you like to do it, right? How, again, how is the signs you like to show, or you like to portray discipline as a Scorpio. You see the sign of a Scorpio there? Okay. Now, Scorpio deals with what? Bonding, okay, transformation, right? Regeneration, okay, and when, in order for anything to be regenerated, something has to die. So it's dealing with death and regeneration. It's dealing with ending stage, so something else can restart again. Okay, I can give you, but where is it happening? Okay, or where is it happening? It is happening in your first house. The first house represents your personal actions, your identity, yourself. Okay, so now let me just give you an example of, let me break this whole thing down, just that one thing. So you have in your first house of self and personal actions, you have the planet Saturn there. Okay, Saturn, and dealing with yourself, right? That's okay. Where is it happening? It's happening in my first house. Okay, so what's happening? What's happening is the challenges, and how it's happening is happening on a Scorpion level. So that means, to me, that means that whenever it is that you take personal actions for yourself, it always may be a challenge for you to, I guess, in a sense, for you to, how can I say it? For you to, in a sense, find your higher meaning or value yourself a little bit more, because it's a lot of challenges. It's the planet the planet Saturn is there. So for you, in order for you to cherish yourself, or even want to get to the next level, you get what I'm saying? Even for you to want to get to the next level of rather spirituality, of rather loving yourself. You get what I'm saying? Because that's all what Scorpios deals with. Scorpio deals with loving, intuition. You get what I'm saying? It deals also with dreams. You understand? So it may be a challenge for you to tap into your intuition. It may be a challenge for you to bond with yourself, because guess what? You may be, in a sense, sacrificing your time or sacrificing yourself for other people. You may always want to put other people first, or you may even deny yourself a lot of times. That's where challenges come about. When you start to deny yourself a lot, then guess what? You're putting yourself in a situation where it's going to be a little bit more hard. Self-identity. It's like, who am I? What am I here for? What do I really like to do? And as a Scorpio, because Scorpions are very, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, again, going back to how, because you're doing it like a Scorpio. So because Scorpions value, or rather love family, or always, in a sense, doing for others, that's where the challenges come in at with you. Dealing with self, dealing with yourself, dealing with personal actions. So in this situation, that's where your your challenges more so come in at when you are trying to elevate with your personal identity. You get what I'm saying? With who you really are. And then too, it could be a situation here where you know the truth. You understand? You know the truth. You know that you, let's give for example spiritual, and you know that you see things, but other people around you may not see the same things that you see. So that can also be a challenge for yourself. You see, that can also be a challenge for yourself. But then too, what is very interesting is that your rising sign is also a Scorpio. You see, your rising sun, which lands in that same angle. You see that AC? Do you see the AC? That is your rising sign. Your rising sign is the impression that you have upon people. So the impression that you have upon people could be very sweet. You understand? Could be very soft in a sense, but then also you don't take bullshit. You don't take BS from other people. If you feel like someone is not being truthful to you, you cut them off in that sense. But it has to take it takes time. It takes it because, and that's the challenge right there. It's like, okay, well, I know this person is lying. I know this person is not being true to me. I know this person really doesn't love me. I know this, I know that. But because you are portraying this energy as a Scorpio, it's like it's a bit challenging for you because you understand you're very kind-hearted, but again, there's always remember what I just explained to you. There's always a flip side to being kind-hearted. There's always some people could be kind-hearted, but guess what, others people could be very cold-hearted. So that's that polarity there. So it's which is whatever way you want to portray it. It's either you're going to be kind-hearted to people, you understand, or it's going to be cold-hearted, depending on how you feel or how this person made you feel. Okay, so that is dealing with the first house. Again, first house deals with personal actions. It deals with yourself, and then the planet that is there is Saturn, and Saturn is the taskmaster, is the challenger. It's like, okay, well, if you say that you want to be happy again, we're gonna challenge you. We're gonna put you to the test to see if you really want to be reborn again, as the Scorpio is there. Okay, is this making sense to you?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's happened every day,
Okay, all right.
Lots of challenges all the time.
And
everybody say like my life is full of action. Like it's impossible. It's going to be quiet with me. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not looking for action all the time, but it happens, so gotta deal with it.
But see that. Right, it's never a dull moment. That's what most people say. Well, it's never a dull moment. But the key here is when you talk about the first house, the key here is yourself, not anybody else. It's like, what do I want for myself? You understand? What kind of personal actions am I going to take so that I can receive the blessings that I want? And when you approach it in that way, then you have to go through those challenges to get the blessings that you want for yourself. You see, it's really not, because again, this whole wheel is composed of you. Not just this, it's a dull moment thing. Not just the external, but we also got to look into the internal. Okay. All right. So now, going into the second house, right? The second house is the second house deals with possessions. You get what I'm saying? The second house also deals with what it is that you value. Okay, the things that you value is either you value your friends, is either you value yourself, is either you value your work ethic. You get what I'm saying? Is either you is whatever it is that you value, and whatever possession is either you valuing. If you bought a house, you value your house. You get what I'm saying? So again, the second house deals with values and possessions, right? So now, in this second house, you have the planets. Okay, let's be sure on this. You have the planet Uranus. Okay, you have the planet Jupiter. Okay, you have the planet Venus in there, right? Yep, you have the planet Venus, and you have the planet Venus. You have the planet Jupiter. You also have the planet Neptune, which is very interesting, because Neptune is the planet, or the planet that is about obscurity. You get what I'm saying? Is about the subconscious mind. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, do you really value what your spirit tells you? You understand? Like that type of stuff. That is the lesson there when we dealing with Neptune in your second house. However, how is it being portrayed, right? How is it being portrayed? It is being portrayed as a Capricorn. Now, Capricorns deals with being very disciplined. You get what I'm saying? Very responsible in a sense. Okay. So now you have Venus there, you have Jupiter there, and Jupiter is the sign of expansion, opportunities, and things of that nature. Venus is the sign of attraction, abundance. You get what I'm saying? So the things that you value can come by the boatload, or can come on a very abundantly level, if you remain what? Disciplined.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? If you remain disciplined, then the things that you value, because it's in the second house, will come to you on a very, it will come to you by the boatload. It will come to you abundantly. But you have to be patient. You have to be disciplined. You have to be what? Have faith in it, right? That's the Neptune energy, because we're dealing with the subconscious mind, right? So whatever it is, whatever picture, whatever image, whatever you tend to, in a sense, whatever you tend to entertain gets caught up in the subconscious mind. So if your goal is to, how can I say, live a very lavish life. Let's just give, for example, live a very lavish life. That is what you value. If that's what's in your mind, guess what? That's what's going to come true. But if that's not what's in your mind, then that's not what's going to manifest. Because again, you got to be disciplined about yours. You have to be honest. And then too, Capricorn is an earth sign. So we dealing with grounding ourselves as well. Of retrieving our personal things. Our things that we hold value to. Such as our family. You understand?
Yeah.
However, and then too, Jupiter. The main fact that you have Jupiter and Venus both in your second house, okay, hear me closely. The main fact that you have Jupiter, and Jupiter, like I said, is the planet of opportunities and expansion, and then you have Venus, which is the planet of attraction and abundance. The main fact that you have just those two planets right there in your second house means that whatever it is that you want to attract here on this planet, if you haven't attracted yet, or is not in alignment of attracting it, you're doing something wrong. And what you may be doing wrong is, going back to the first house, is doubting yourself. That's where the challenge is coming at.
Okay.
You see. So you also have, let's not forget, Uranus. Uranus is the planet of to learn, to grow and to learn. It is also the planet which is ruled, Aquarians, which is your sun sign, is ruled by Uranus. However, Uranus is the planet of uniqueness, spontaneous changes. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. But it is influenced by what? Sagittarius. Is influenced by Sagittarius, but it is also in your second house. So guess what? This is where the changes is always going to come in at. You get what I'm saying? The changes of what you value. It can go lower or it can go higher. Even in relationships. You get what I'm saying? It's like, okay, how am I going to be valued? How do I want my mate to value me? And do you want to do it on a real deep level? Because Sagittarius is the explorer of the zodiac sign. Is the traveler. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, do you want to travel deep into the subconscious mind or deep into the soul? Or do you want to deal with the mundane level? Or do you want to just settle for whatever? That's just an example. You get what I'm saying? Because Uranus is going to bring about these different changes. Okay, if that's not what she values, okay, change. You get what I'm saying? If that's not what all right, fine, we're going to change it every time. Even I don't know how many times you move residence or change locations of homes, but that could even be that. Or even jobs. That can even be that. Or you yourself, you might have been someone that travels for work to different countries and different states or whatever. You understand? Okay. That's what that's about. All right?
I did move a lot. Mm-hmm. I changed a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
But I didn't travel yet for work.
Okay, that's fine.
But that would be something I would love to.
It's possible. You get what I'm saying? It's really possible, because work and job and things of that nature, work and job and stuff, this is the things that you value. This is the stuff that's going to bring about money, security to yourself and to your family. You understand? So I totally understand that. Right? So now we go into the third house. Right? And the third house represents communication and understanding. Okay? Again, the houses is where the energy is being influenced. Where is this happening? You understand where? It's happening in the third house of communication. So this deals with how you communicate with others, or rather how you communicate with others on a physical level, or how you communicate with others on a spiritual level, or even how you do this with yourself. How do you communicate with yourself? How do you communicate with yourself, rather physically or spiritually? You understand? That is the third house of understanding others, understanding where they come from. And then two, the third house also deals with a variety, able to look at things on all different levels, and then having this understanding. Okay, so that's where, right? So now, how it's being done, how it's being done is like, you have your Aquarius there. That's how it's being done as an Aquarius. And Aquarius is the rebels. You get what I'm saying? Aquarius, so meaning Aquarius is the rebels, and Aquarius is also the humanitarians. People, groups like to understand groups, likes to be in groups. So that right there is the for you, because your sun sign is there, right? That's the planet. The planet that is there is your sun. Your sun sign is Aquarius. You following me?
Yeah.
Okay. So the sun sign is the focus. Is your point of attraction. You get what I'm saying? So the things that you focus on, okay, can be as a result of how you understand things. And whatever it is that don't make sense to you, okay, whatever it is that don't make sense to you, you're going to rebel against it. Or you're going to ask questions about it. Or you're just going to, let it go. But the things that do make sense to you, and you have to really ask yourself, is it really making sense to me? Or am I just accepting this? Going back to the first house of personal actions and self. You get what I'm saying? Am I really accepting? Am I just accepting what I'm saying? Or is this really making sense to me? Because again, it's just like somebody, say for example, you're in a relationship or whatever, and somebody just keeps lying to you, and you just accepting. After a while, you're gonna rebel because the communication is not there, and your spirit, you yourself, your spirit is telling you, listen, this person is lying. You know this. You get what I'm saying? Going back to the challenges that you have within yourself. You may know this, but guess what? You still accept that. Right? But then too, you also have the planetary ruler of the third house, Mercury. That's the planetary ruler of the third house. However, you see that there, right? Mercury is coming in at 24 degrees. Mercury deals with mental exploration, the mind. So with you, I truly feel like meditation is something that you should be doing very frequently. Meditation, chanting, raising your vibration, as I mentioned to you, as above, so below. Because, but however, check this out. However, yeah, your Mercury is in your third house, but how is it being portrayed? It's being portrayed as a Capricorn. So this means that for me, seeing those two collaboration, this means to me that you may not be someone that always speaks out. You get what I'm saying? Or expresses themselves. Because you're trying to be disciplined. You're trying to be a little bit conservative. You're trying to, you know what, I'm not going to say nothing now. Let me see what happens. Let me see how it plays out. Because some people have this thing where they just see something right away, boom, they say it. Or some people have this thing where, okay, I see it, I'm not going to say nothing now. I'm just going to see what happens. I'm not going to speak. Am I right? Are you someone that, based on this chart, I'm just putting a conclusion. Are you somebody that speaks out? Or are you a little bit more conservative and more quiet on the quiet side? Which one?
Yeah, I'm more like, sometimes I'm like very passive. I don't really say what I mean.
Yes.
But, sometimes I don't speak a lot, but sometimes it's the opposite. It's
Yes.
always one or the other.
Absolutely.
I could be like the one who speak her mind, or I just say nothing.
That's the rebel. You understand? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's the rebel, the one that speaks his mind, the humanitarian, in the sign of the third house. You get what I'm saying? In the sign of the third house. And then the flip side of it is that you also have this Capricorn energy with you. influence how it's being done is being done as a Capricorn. You understand? So, So now that's with that, the third house. Now with the fourth house. Now the fourth house deals with family. It deals with homes. It also deals with family, deals with homes. It deals with ancestry. You get what I'm saying? Ancestors and things of that nature. That's the fourth house. And you have, that's where it's being done. Now, the planet that is there, it is your moon. And the moon represents what? The moon represents your emotions. And as a matter of fact, the moon is the planetary ruler of the fourth house, because the fourth house deals with Cancer. However, how you deal with family, ancestry, and emotions and things like that is like a Pisces. Very emotional, very sensitive to your family, to your loved ones, to your homes.
My two parents are Cancer.
There you go. You understand? So
yeah.
I'm sure they were, in the sense, it could have been one or two things. It could have been that, because remember what I said, the polarity thing, as above, so below. It could have been one or two things. It could have been that you had very loving parents, right? Or it could have been that one of your parents neglected you or wasn't always there for you. You understand? Because that's the polarity of things. It's either you had very loving parents, very sentimental parents, you get what I'm saying, very supportive parents, or you had one. It has to be just one. I don't feel like you had both parents that was like that. But one of them might have been not so sentimental, not so supportive.
One is supportive but wasn't there much.
There you go.
And the other one not supportive and more cold.
You see? That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what it is. That's Cancer. That's what I'm saying. Cancer is the sign of family, homes. You understand? Homes and ancestors. So now your moon sign is there. So I'm sure that growing up, you was very sentimental or sensitive when it dealt with your parents, when it dealt with your family. Very sensitive, very emotional, which resulted in spiritual heightening. You get what I'm saying? Because you was perhaps led by your higher self. As above, so below. When you're feeling down, remember when I said it's the opposite. And what I mean, why am I saying your spirit is following, guiding you and stuff like that? It's because Pisces is the sign of spirituality and psychic abilities and spirit guides and stuff. You understand? So in any event, growing up, to the extent that you might have felt very sensitive and emotional due to family, also your spiritual side also heightened or raised up. You see?
Yeah.
Even building a family of your own. You get what I'm saying? With your mate or whoever, building a family of your own, you're gonna be very emotional, or that's like where your heart is at.
Yeah.
You see, that's where your heart is at. Okay, so that was being done. So in your fifth house deals with pleasures and creativity. You don't have any planets there, but you do have Aries there, and that just deals with, in a sense, a warrior, the warrior type, being very, going about your business, not in a sense going about your business, but very forceful. You get what I'm saying? You like making things basically happen. That's what that collaboration is about. Again, if there's no planets there, then we can't really say what energy is being portrayed. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, I know how it's being done, I know where, but what's happening here? You get what I'm saying? What's happening? We don't know what's happening because we don't have a planet there.
Okay.
Okay. But just giving you some brief explanation. And again, I don't know if you're aware, but I do teach online classes. And this is, if you want to learn how to read your own natal chart as well, this is one of the things that I teach. A whole 2 hours of astrology and things of that nature. So, you need to, if you're interested, ask about it, all right? All right.
Okay.
So, in the 6th house, again, the 6th house, there's no planets there, okay? But you do have these, in the 6th house, I believe, there's no planets there, so you can't really say, because it's like on a cusp of Aries and Taurus. So, however, okay, however, which is very interesting, right? Remember when you said you had one parent that wasn't really there for you, and then you had another parent that was there but not there. Am I right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now your Chiron. Let's make sure this is true. Your Chiron is in the 7th house, and the 7th house deals with what? Partnership. It deals with bonding. It deals with marriages as well. You get what I'm saying? It deals with unity. It deals with family. You get what I'm saying? Now, your Chiron is where you've been wounded at. That's that little sign there that you see. That little sign that you see. That is where you've been wounded at. Okay? So, again, how is this, okay, well, I've been wounded there, but how? Because Taurus is there. Taurus is the sign of appreciation. People has not been appreciating you. In this house of family, bonding, marriage, partnership. So you've been wounded there. It could either been through your childhood, because most of the times where you've been wounded at represents the earlier stages of your life. You understand? The earlier stages of your life. So it could even been in your past life. You haven't been appreciated as a wife or as a husband. Because I don't know, you could have been a man or a woman. You get what I'm saying? But you haven't been appreciated. And so therefore, when you do get into a relationship, it's either one or two things. When you do get into a relationship, you might be a little bit overly aggressive, or right, or you just allow people to step over you, or to take advantage of you in a sense, because you just want the peace. You just want to feel like you're being loved. You get what I'm saying? You just want to feel like you're being loved. So you know what? You accept certain things that you know that you really don't like. That goes back to what I was saying in the 1st house of personal actions and self. The challenges that you go through with yourself to deal or to satisfy other people that you have this partnership with, or a marriage, or a relationship, or family. Because that's where you've been wounded. You've been wounded in your 7th house. Okay? So, the next one is Gemini. Now, you see that little sign there? The little symbol? That is your true node. Your true node represents your spiritual destiny. What you came back onto this planet to do. You get what I'm saying? What is it that you came back onto this planet to learn, or to master? And again, if your true node is in Gemini, that means that you definitely, and Gemini deals with networking, communication. Like I said, it's the 3rd house. understanding. You get what I'm saying? Diversity of things, variety of things, travel. So you came back onto this planet to be a genius, a mastermind. However, you have to know this for yourself. That is where the challenges come in at, going back to the first house. Tying it all in. So you got all of these ideas. I'm sure you have a lot of different ideas, right? That you want to do.
Yeah.
I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that. Ooh, I like this. Ooh, I like that. How are you going to? Because this is your spiritual destiny. You're supposed to be in rather fashion or music or anything creative. You get what I'm saying? Anything that is in quote unquote trending. That's what you're supposed to be doing as your spiritual destiny.
I did some, and now I'm not in that, and everything's going wrong.
There you go, because you're not in alignment with your spiritual destiny. As I said to you before, it's something that you must not be doing right. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. So, and again, this session has been recorded, so you can always go back to it, right?
Okay.
So again, spiritual destiny in Gemini. Gemini represents communication, networking. You get what I'm saying? Being the mastermind to things, just being yourself. You understand being an entrepreneur. You understand being an entrepreneur and things of that nature. So that's in the and then 2 is in the 8th house. And the 8th house, okay, I forgot about that. And the 8th house deals with bonding. The 8th house also deals with regeneration. So, when a certain fashion or whatnot dies down, you want to bring back the old stuff. Reborn, death and reborn. Death and reborn. I'm bringing this back out. I'm bringing baggy clothes back out. I'm bringing, long dresses back out. I'm bringing corsets back out. You understand? I'm bringing new polish for your shoes back out. That's what that's about. That's the 5th house of creativity. You have to use your creative mind in order for you to succeed. This is the lesson that is here for you. That's the lesson there. All right?
Okay.
So, So no houses in the 9th house. Nothing in your 10th house. Your MC, there's no houses. Your MC, which is your midhaven, okay, which deals with the 10th house. I believe it is actually in the 10th house. Let me see. Let me make sure. Your MC is ruled by how is your MC, which is your reputation, how is it being portrayed? Is being portrayed as a Leo, and Leo is a fire sign. You get what I'm saying? Leo deals with your identity. So that's what I'm saying. It all is all. First of all, your first house tells you that you need to value yourself and you need to not second guess yourself. Your spiritual destiny also tells you that you have to be following your own creative mind and stuff like that. And then your midhaven, which represents your identity, which represents your reputation, which represents your career, is also influenced by Leo. Leo is the identity, because Leo is governed by the sun. Your sun, which is the sun. The planet is the sun. You understand? So understand that. So, there's no particular planets in the 10th house, nor is there any planets in the 11th house. But in the 12th house, you have, give me a second, in the 12th house, you have Pluto. Let's make sure, yep. You have Pluto in there, and you also have, what planet is that? Mars. So you have both Pluto and Mars in your 12th house. So what that means, and Mars represents being very forceful. Force. Mars also deals with sexuality. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sexuality. So again, and then Pluto deals with regeneration. But the 12th house is dealing with the subconscious mind. Let me ask you a question. Have you been, is everything during your childhood, did you been sexually assaulted?
Yes.
There you go. You understand? That's what it
Yeah.
is. That's what your spirit guides just told me. She had something dealing with sexuality in her childhood. That's the subconscious mind. That's the 12. That means that experience, if you haven't healed yourself or you haven't tried to let go of it, it always is stuck in the back of your mind. The picture, the image always come up.
Yeah.
You understand the image? It's always coming up because guess what? Scorpio also deals with sexual pleasures, bonding. You understand? And then you have Pluto. Pluto is regeneration, meaning that you have to, yes, that is what happened to you, but you have to kill that image in order for you to see the light, in order for you to be fully healed, in order for you to forgive yourself. You have to kill that image. That's the Pluto regeneration. However, it's going to take a long time because Pluto is a slow moving planet. It's a slow moving planet. Okay? So you have this, this very sexual, and then too, that also makes you, that this Mars or whatnot in the 12th house, influenced by the Scorpio energy, okay, that also makes you, in a sense, makes you make poor decisions with sex. Poor decisions, making poor decisions, meaning sometimes you just have sex with not saying anybody, but you just give in to sexual pleasures. It could be due to you still not, or being fearful of what happened to you throughout your earlier experiences in life.
Okay.
Okay, so that is the 12th house. All right, and then like when you see these red lines and stuff like that, and these blue lines, these red and these blue lines just represents that, okay, the challenges, like what's, the, like, from, say for example, from your third house to, let's say your third house to your 12th house, there has, and right there it is the, in a sense, what's that? That's Mercury going all the way to Pluto. You get what I'm saying? In the 12th house. Mercury, which is the planet of mentality. You get what I'm saying? Mental exploration. Having this red aspect to in the 12th house of the subconscious mind of Pluto. Meaning you really, really may have some challenges figuring out the truth within thyself. Figuring out your true identity. Because again, the 12th house deals with the subconscious mind. So subconscious mind deals with what? Spirituality, your own spirit. So, but if you have this aspects here, all of those is dealing with challenges. Okay? And then the red, excuse me, and then the blue is, harmony. It's a very harmonic aspect. So the red lines just represents the challenges that you may have in connection with each other, and then the blue is just the harmony. Everything is running smoothly. Okay.
Okay.
So, is there any questions you have? Any feedback?
No. The only thing I want, like, I had no time, but I'm like now getting to get an agent to do more work in hearts.
Because
I even heard, like, I work in a restaurant.
Yes.
I don't like it much because there's always challenge with the other people. And it's not like as perfect, and they're not as disciplined as I like.
There you go.
As a challenge to work as a group, and I hurt myself, my ends. So I'm like, it's because I'm not at the right place.
You're not. Sure. You're not. That's again going back to the first house. So if you saying that you want a better life, right? You're telling yourself that, listen, this is not the place that I need to be in. Okay, so Saturn, which is in your first house, is going to challenge you. You say you don't want to be here, so what are you going to do? Let us see if you really want to be in a better position, because you have the opportunity, because you have Jupiter and Venus in your second house of value. So what is it that you're really valuing? With the influence of Capricorn. That's what I'm saying, to discipline you.
Yeah.
So you working in a restaurant with your natal chart like that, again, you got to look at it as it's just a step. It's just part of the journey. You're not going to be there for long. It's just part of the journey to bring you to your next level. Bring you to the next level. You understand? Just to bring you to the next level.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely, if you're interested, I definitely would recommend that you sign up for my online classes. You get what I'm saying? Okay. So you can understand everything on a collective. And then I read your natal chart, true, but for you to read your own and understand your own natal chart, break things down from pieces to pieces and stuff like that, even understanding the different chakra levels in your body and how it relates to nature and the circadian rhythm and things like that, I definitely I feel like you will benefit from it. The class is October 22nd. It's on a Sunday. It's October 22nd. If you're interested, it's gonna be every month. So it's up to you.
All right? It's once a month.
Once a month.
How long it lasts, the class?
The class, it lasts between 3 to 4 hours. The last class I did 3 hours on Sunday, and then the second part was the following Wednesday.
Okay.
So the astrology part and stuff like that, it was the following Wednesday. Okay.
Okay. I have to check now. I am already taking a class. It's a vegan class. It's super interesting.
Good.
But there's stuff in it I don't follow, and I push away because I try and like, for me it's not working.
You got to do what works for you.
That's it.
Yeah.
So everybody's different.
Everybody's different. That's the rebel you see? That's the rebel. You just see what I'm saying? The communication, exactly my point. It's not working for you. You're not processing it properly. Or it's not that you're not processing it properly, but the way you're processing it, your spirit is not really resonating with it. You get what I'm saying? So guess what? It's not working for you. Just like you said, hey. You get what I'm saying? Hey. But then you're also disciplined about it. You're also diplomatic about it. That's the Capricorn. Being very diplomatic.
Yeah.
Okay.
In my relationship, I had the low and downs. Yes. But it's because sometimes my boyfriend say weird stuff, and I tell him. I put him into his place, but before I wouldn't do it with the other people. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I don't like it. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah. That's right.
Then they're a little bit crisis, and then we're like, okay, step behind, and then come back, and then be like, okay, let's put this behind. And I'm like, if I don't like something, I'm not going to change, but you have to know it, because I want you to step on me.
Right. Because you've been hurt. Your Chiron is in the 7th house of partnership. You've been hurt. You understand? So that's exactly what I explained to you.
Yeah.
You understand? And again, it is, what is it that you value within yourself? Because if you value yourself and you love yourself and your possession and things of that nature, there's certain things that you're not going to accept coming from a partnership or a bond, a relation. You're not going to accept that.
And after we're like more closer because it's the way it is.
Yeah,
it's more true than being like fake.
Mm-hmm.
We're already talking to try to have a second baby because the first one I miscarried. So we're like working on that now.
Good.
And I work on the side to get an agent to do arts.
To do arts, you said?
Yeah.
There you go. That is the third house. You get what I'm saying? Oh, not third house. That is your true node in Gemini.
That's it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The informer.
Yeah.
Informing people. It's like when I channel. I'm just here to give you the message. Okay.
That's good. Yeah.
All right.
That was good.
All right, great. So again, this session has been recorded. I'll go ahead and send this off to you as soon as I get a chance. All right.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you so much, beloved. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.